بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we have started to have a brief interpretation of Quran. We reached to chapter Qalam. This chapter is revealed in Mecca and it has 52 verses. Please listen to verse 34 to 38.
إن للمتقين عند ربهم جنات النعيم أفنجعل المسلمين كالمجرمين ما لكم كيف تحكمون أم لكم كتاب فيه تدرسون إن لكم فيه لما تخيرون.
Allah says, إن للمتقين عند ربهم جنات النعيم أفنجعل المسلمين كالمجرمين. Surely those who guard against evil shall have with their Lord gardens of bliss. أفنجعل المسلمين كالمجرمين. What shall we have then make those who submit as the guilty? ما لكم كيف تحكمون. What has happened to you? How do you judge? أم لكم كتاب فيه تدرسون. Or have you a book wherein you read? إن لكم فيه لما تخيرون. That you have surely therein what you choose. In previous verses, Allah was talking about disbelievers' chastisement. Allah said, I punish you in this world, but there is a severe and worse than this punishment. There is another chastisement in hereafter. It means sometimes there is a punishment in this world, sometimes in Judgment Day, but the one which Allah is going to have in Judgment Day is worse. وَلَعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَكْبَرُ. But after that, immediately Allah is talking about righteous people and says, the righteous and pious people are going to paradise and will have Allah's blessings in gardens. We talked about these few verses and we promised to talk about the messages that we can get from these verses. The first message, we will see that Allah is bringing the punishment and also the reward, warning and also mentioning or promising the rewards and giving the prize. Allah brings these two together. It means sometimes when we want to raise our children, when we want to improve our friends, our community, we should encourage them. If you do this, we are going to give you something. If, for example, if you do your homework, I'm going to give you money. If you are going to pray, for example, to make a fast for one holy month, I'm going to buy you a computer. This is one of the best ways to encourage our children to fulfill their responsibility. Okay, sometimes the children are not going to accept it. They say, okay, we don't want computer, but I'm not going to make fast. I'm not going to worship Allah. Okay, Allah says there is another thing, the warning. Allah is doing the same. It means sometimes the parents should say, if you don't do, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to help you. This is a warning. So warning and rewarding both should be mixed and join each other. Allah, after He mentioned the chastisement for disbelievers, immediately He says, إِنَّ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ. The righteous people have Allah's blessings in Judgment Day. Second, Allah says, أَفَنَجْعَلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ كَالْمُجْرِمِينَ. What? Shall we make? That is, of course, it is a trait from Allah. Allah wants to reject it because some people were claiming that although we believe or we don't think that there is a judgment day, but even if there is a judgment, we are going to have Allah's bless. مَا أَظُنُّ السَّاعَةَ قَائِمَةً. We don't think that there is a judgment day, but even if there is a judgment day, Allah is going to help us and we are going to have Allah's blessings in Judgment Day. This verse is going to answer them. Allah says, what shall we then make those who submit as the guilty? It means those who believes. Do we consider them as a criminals? It means we don't reward them. Allah wants to say that this is Allah's punishment is based on justice. Definitely, Allah is going to punish disbelievers, but for believers, Allah is going to reward them, not to punish them. Allah's punishment is for those who is fighting with Allah, those who are fighting with Allah. So Allah says, do you think that we treat the believers as we treat disbelievers? When Allah says, أَفَنَجْعَلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ كَالْمُجْرِمِينَ, Allah wants to emphasize that I am just and I deal with the people according to the justice. Whoever is fighting with Allah, Allah is going to fight him back, and who is going to obey Allah, Allah is going to reward him. إِنَّ لَكُمْ فِيهِ لَمَا تَخَيَّرُونَ. Allah wants to emphasize that you are free to do anything you want, but you must know that you will be punished if you choose something terrible. You can take a knife and go and kill innocent people. When we say you can, it means you have ability. Allah has given to you the ability. But if you use the knife in such a way, definitely the government is going to punish you. All the people have knife and they can commit sin. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't have consequences. It doesn't mean if you choose to oppress people, the government is not going to put you in jail. Allah says, you are free to do anything you want, but you must be sure that Allah is going to punish you. But Allah's punishment is according to something that you have chosen for yourself. Briefly, Allah said, definitely for believers there are rewards and they are going to have Allah's blessings in Judgment Day. And since we are just, we deal with believers differently. We don't deal with the believers as we believe with these believers. إِنَّ لَكُمْ فِيهِ لَمَا تَخَيَّرُونَ. And also, if we punish you, it is because of yourself. You have chosen something terrible, and I'm going to punish you according to whatever you have chosen for yourself. Please listen to verse 39 to 41.
أَمْ لَكُمْ أَيْمَانٌ عَلَيْنَا بَالِغَةٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّ لَكُمْ لَمَا تَحْكُمُونَ سَلْهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ بِذَلِكَ زَعِيمٌ أَمْ لَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ فَلْيَأْتُوا بِشُرَكَائِهِمْ إِن كَانُوا صَادِقِينَ.
Allah says, أَمْ لَكُمْ أَيْمَانٌ عَلَيْنَا بَالِغَةٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّ لَكُمْ لَمَا تَحْكُمُونَ. Or have you received from us an agreement confirmed by an oath extending to the day of resurrection that you shall surely have what you demand? سَلْهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ بِذَلِكَ ظَئِيمٌ. Ask them which of them will watch for that. أَمْ لَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ فَلْيَأْتُوا بِشُرَكَائِهِمْ إِنْ كَانُوا صَادِقِينَ يَوْمَ يُكْشَفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ. Or if they have deities in place of Allah whom they worship, then they should introduce them if they are truthful. Allah is talking about with disbelievers, and He says to them that, how do you think that in Judgment Day you will enjoy and Allah is not going to punish you? The intellect has told you, or any holy book has told you, أَمْ لَكُمْ كِتَابٌ. It means أَمْ لَكُمْ كِتَابٌ فِيهِ تَدْرُسُونَ. Do you have any holy book that He has told you that you and believers are the same, for example? Or مَا لَكُمْ كَيْفَ تَحْكُمُونَ. It means your intellect is going to tell you what has happened to you. How do you judge? Why you are thinking in such a way? Why you judge in such a way? Your intellect will tell you that believers and disbelievers are the same? Definitely not. Or أَمْ لَكُمْ أَيْمَانٌ بَالِغَةٌ. Or have you received from us an agreement confirmed by an oath? It means we guarantee it, and we swear that we are not going to punish you, or you are the same as the believers? Definitely not. We understand from these verses that if we argue with somebody, it should be based on something which is confirmed as and accepted. Disbelievers had a claim that they will not be punished, or Allah will treat them as they treat with the believers. Allah says, how do you argue like that? Your intellect will tell you, or we have agreement with you and swear by that? أَمْ لَكُمْ كِتَابٌ. Or any holy book has come to you? Definitely none of them, and because of that you should not have such a claim. When Allah said, أَمْ لَكُمْ أَيْمَانٌ عَلَيْنَا بَالِغَةٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّ لَكُمْ لَمَا تَحْكُمُونَ. We understand that Allah did not give any vow to disbelievers. Definitely, the truth is something that the intellect will tell us and will tell them. And the Holy Book is going to tell, nothing more than that. So if they have such a claim that either Allah does not punish them or Allah bless them, as Allah bless the believers, is wrong. And after that Allah said, إِنَّ لَكُمْ لَمَا تَحْكُمُونَ. Indeed, you should understand that whatever you do, the reaction and consequences of that you are going to have in Judgment Day, extending to the day of resurrection, that you shall surely have what you have demanded. It means Do you think that there is a oath that anything you decide or you have it, you are going to have on Judgment Day? Definitely not. They demand paradise and they demand Allah's blessings in Judgment Day. But Allah says, definitely, anything you do in this world, you plan in this world, you will take the same. Sometimes we make such mistakes in this world. We do something wrong, but the result we expect something wonderful. The father and mother, when they want to have a child, they don't care for their foods, their moral, their behaviors. Sometimes, God forbid, and they drink. Even while the mother is pregnant. When the child is born, they see that the child has some problems. They don't understand that they have done something wrong and this is the result. The food was terrible, the result, the child is terrible. So we ask Allah to help us to use our intellect and also to use the Holy Book as a pure source. Anything Quran says, we should give a respect. Otherwise, anything that disbeliever says, only it is a claim without proving. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.